So we have a kind of, you must be wondering, many of you must be wondering, what is it all going to be, the story and the power of the universe? We have a kind of idea that we belong to the earth and we have nothing to do with the universe. At least I had such ideas. But then being an environmentalist, living in the environmental center, also living in States for some time as intern in one of the environmental centers, I realized the fact that we are not just the children of the earth, but we are also the children of the universe. Earth, the planet, is only an element in the universe. So once we have this consciousness of God in us, and the consciousness that we belong to the earth and we belong to the universe, I'm sure our lifestyle will change. This is what my faith and what has changed my life. Today, if I care for an insect, I care for an animal, I care for a plant, I care for people, it's all emerged from this. Definitely the seed was deep within me, but that got strengthened in my search for meaning in life. And I know all those who are present here, many of you had been instruments in my life to accomplish this search and to become more God-centered and seeing God in all things. And my dear sisters, my entire objective of presenting this story of the universe and the powers of the universe is that to take everyone to recognize this existence, our relationship, our connectedness with Mother Earth, our connectedness with the entire universe, the cosmos. So with that introduction, I welcome everyone to the Season of Creation 2021. Last year we had 2-3 webinars. This year we will have, coming Sunday also we will have one more webinar. And when I missed it, of course, I had fever and cold, so I couldn't have it. So we have now open to all this particular webinar, the story. To begin with, according to the Old Testament tradition, creation is always an object of praise. Nevertheless, we see in all our Psalms in the Bible, most of them, in fact, 90% of the Psalms are just thanking and praising God. And very specifically, 104, if we take every creature on earth thanking God. And verse 24 says, in wisdom you created them all, and the earth is full of your creatures. Because nature, the work of God's creative action. And that's why God, we see in Genesis, God, after creating each object or each day, end of each day, he said, everything is good. And he created on, there's a story, we know that. Probably it is 2 million, 1 million, 3 million, 4 million, or even 1 billion years after the creation has come in. But in a small little story to make us understand the Genesis story of creation we have. And creation is the gift of God to us. Do we ever think that the creation is a gift of God to us? We take it for granted. Therefore, but wounded by sin. When I reflect this by wounded by sin, the creation, it has started in Genesis itself with the story of Adam and Eve. What was the sin they committed? Greediness. As Mahatma Gandhi said, we have enough for our need, but not for our greed. So in St. Peter, the letter of St. Peter, second letter of St. Peter, it said, creation is the gift of God to us, but wounded by sin, the entire world is called to undergo a radical purification. This wounded by sin, as I said, has started from the very, very beginning with the story of Adam and Eve. There, the people were, what the story tells us, we were greedy. And we began to destroy what God has given us to take care of. We are supposed to be the stewards. But we thought we are the maliks, or we are the kings of the entire kingdom, and we can just cut and throw, use them much more than our need. And St. Peter has said very clearly, Peter has said, it is wounded by sin, the entire creation. And the entire world is called to undergo a radical purification. And this is the call in the Laudato Si today, the ecological conversion. How much seriously have we taken this? The Laudato Si movement is created from this year 2020 to 2027. I'm sorry, 2021 to 2027. The Rome has created Laudato Si movement, and I am also part of it. I am representing our congregation in that. And 2021 we are planning, and 2027 the evaluation. In between the 5 years, we are supposed to implement what is being said in the Laudato Si. So all of us are called by the Catholic Church itself, not only Catholic Church, the entire Christian church, the Christian community, to live this life of conversion, that is the ecological conversion. And then we can respond to what Peter said. Creation is a gift of God to us, but wounded by sin. The entire world is called to undergo a radical purification, a radical change, a paradigm shift in our lifestyle. And coming to this paper may be little heavy for some of you, but then all that we have to realize is that how we are connected to the Earth planet, the planet Earth, and how we are connected to the universe. And what is incarnation and what is Paschal mystery? These two are very essential and very significant in our religious life, especially as Sisters of the Cross, the Paschal mystery. What is our understanding of Paschal mystery? The mystery of incarnation, the entry of Jesus Christ into this history of the world. It has culminates, that incarnation culminates in the Paschal mystery. What is our understanding of incarnation? What is our understanding of Paschal mystery? This is what we are going to see in the next 2 slides. Where Christ creates a new relationship between God, human beings, and the created world. It is not just between me and God. It was our old thinking. But today, our thinking has changed. We have to unlearn to relearn. That is, not only me and my God, and then we came to an understanding, me, my God, and my brothers and sisters. But still we had forgotten the world. But then we have a different understanding today. My relationship with God is not just that. I have also relationship with with the others, my neighbors, and also relationship with the creation. Only then the relationship with God is complete. These 3 are interlinked. They are intertwined, these 3 elements: relationship with God, relationship with the creation, and relationship with the others. So the mystery of incarnation and Paschal mystery are very subtle in the womb of God's creation. Very subtle. What is the mystery of incarnation? We try to see the mystery of incarnation, birth of Jesus, and we have blah, blah, several things. But the mystery of incarnation is in the womb of God's creation. Any creative activity is incarnation. Getting into, and then bringing a new life. Similarly, the Paschal mystery. So we have both incarnation and Paschal mystery. It is hidden in the womb of God's creation. So without God's creation, for us, we will not be able to comprehend or understand a bit of the mystery. We will not understand completely because it is a mystery. But these mysteries are hidden. We try to experience a bit of this mystery in our life. This is, I have said it last time when I took about the incarnation. Hildegard Bengin, she has always told The earth had been preparing for the incarnation of God's Son. I read it the entire thing. The earth is mother, for contained in her all the seeds of all life. The earth contains moistness, fertility, and the germinating power. All these contained in the earth. Therefore, we call earth as a mother. And every moment when a new life is come, there is an incarnation. For us, only incarnation is incarnation of Jesus. But incarnation of Jesus is a repetition, or it is being taking, it is being experienced. One who can experience or has the height to see that, experience the incarnation every moment when there is a new life. The earth forms not only the basic raw materials for humankind, but also the substance of the incarnation of God's Son. The earth had been preparing for the incarnation of God's Son. This was her experience of the experience of Hildegard. So that's about incarnation. As Hildegard explained, earth had been, not only earth, the entire universe had been preparing for the incarnation of the Son of God. And the entire universe is preparing the incarnation, not only the Son of God. Every moment that there is an incarnation, we will be seeing as we see the story. The Paschal mystery, what does it mean to us? Should we redefine our understanding of Paschal mystery? This is a big question. Very often that, at least me, when I say about Paschal mystery, I say, oh, the difficulties in my life, the passion, the death, and the resurrection in my life. But can I go beyond myself and see? Is there a Paschal mystery being experienced when we see the tears of the poor, the cry of the poor, and the cry of the earth are the same? Do we experience that Paschal mystery when we see millions of trees being cut in the forest? The Amazon forests are declining day by day. Several species are vanishing. Are they all experiencing that Paschal mystery? The Paschal mystery is also in our day-to-day life. Not only in my life, even Paschal mystery I experience if I am one with the poor, and if I am one with the earth, and if I am one with the universe. That is the reason I ask, should we redefine our understanding of Paschal mystery? Is that Paschal mystery I experience only in my life? Or do I experience when I work with the poor? Do I experience that Paschal mystery when I see someone thirsting for water? Do I experience that Paschal mystery when I see someone hungry? So every moment there is a Paschal mystery. There is a death, the resurrection takes place only when we compassionately get into or implement or get into an action. Another thing, my reflection went yesterday as I was preparing, the option for the poor. This was a big jargon after the Vatican II. From the time I have joined the congregation, I remember this term, the option for the poor. What is option for the poor? It's also option for the earth. Option for the poor and the option for the earth are one and the same. If the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor are one and the same, the option for the poor and the option for the earth are one and the same. They are not two different entities. These are one and the same. Because I destroyed the earth, the poor are suffering much more. We may blame the corporate world. We might blame the globalization. But are we not part of this globalization? Are we not a part of this corporate world? Directly or indirectly, we are all part of it. So can we become more and more conscious and make lesser our participation in such world that is existing for the rich? And can we really support the poor? Because of their greediness, the earth is diminishing. The resources of the earth is diminishing. The resources of the earth are polluted. Can we support our poor by changing our lifestyle? Then the option for the poor will be much meaningful. Looking at the signs of the time, again, another jargon that we have is the signs of the time. What is the signs of the time? How many of us look for the signs of the time? Is it only among the poor? But if we don't analyze why the poor are that way, there is a need for reconciliation and conversion. This is a sign of the time. The signs of the time is reconciliation. There is a diminishing, there is a failure from our part, or there is something that is happening to the entire world, the entire universe. We need to recognize and we need to reconcile. We need to convert ourselves, our activities, our actions. It is ultimately through our faith that we feel a deep sorrow when we see the destruction of God's gift and the suffering of people. Destruction of God's gift is the universe. Destruction of the earth. Destruction of the planet earth. Destruction of the entire cosmos. And therefore, the suffering of people. Once again, ask ourselves, could we not have acted differently? We can act differently only if we are convinced of. Otherwise, we will never act differently. So this is a kind of introduction for the story that is going to begin. So we are at the season of creation. I hope all of you are aware of it. The theme of this year is a home for all. It's a question mark. Is it a home for all? The earth, is it a home for all? And our duty to renew the oikos of God. Oikos means the house of God. So this is the theme of 2021, a home for all, renewing the oikos of God. So I take you now to the story of the universe. Very seldom we have heard the story of the universe. In part 1, I am going to tell you how the universe, with very few slides, I am going to explain how the universe was formed. Okay, some of you must be already knowing, but we look at this with an eye, on a different eye. Other one was much more intellectual knowledge, but now we are going to look at it with a heart. We have heard and studied in the schools the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory, what we have studied, at least I have studied, is only 4.6 billion years ago story. But the story has begun, as per the scientists. So far what they have seen is, they have got evidences are 13.7 billion years ago was the first Big Bang. The first Big Bang took place 13.7 billion years ago. Call it as 14 billion years ago. The great mystery, a great ball of fire expanded outward into the creation of the universe. So, Thomas Berry, I do not know how many of you are very familiar with Thomas Berry. Thomas Berry is a brother, a passionist brother. He has written a book called The Dream of the Earth. Another scientist, Brian Swim, is a physics scientist. They say the universe is every day expanding, expanding, and expanding. So there is always a new creation that is taking place. And every new creation is an incarnation, remember, a new life. If we want to know that we began this environmental movement with the book written by Rachel Carson in 1962, almost September 27th, she released the book. And in that book name was The Silent Spring. The story of the Silent Spring is during the springtime in States, they used to hear so many voices, noises of the birds and the frogs and insects. But she, the Rachel Carson, recognized that those are no more because of the pesticide and chemical fertilizers they have used. So all of them had vanished. So she says the spring where they used to hear different noises, voices, they are no more. That's why silent spring. That awakened the people to look into our activities. That was the first book that has awakened the world on environmental crisis. So coming back to here, the scientists, they say that the universe is every time expanding. And the first Big Bang took place in 13.7 billion years ago. So when it expanded, the cosmic web emerged. You know, it is just expanding. It is in a web and it emerges. The universe expands. And it began to cool down some parts of the universe. And there were some atomic particles, radical new beings. And this Big Bang had new powers in it, new life in it. And this expanding, cooling down, they also began to create the new beings, new powers. With the new powers, they began to create new beings and transformed into atoms of the lightest gases called hydrogen and helium. We see the hydrogen balloons going up. So they are the lightest gases. So the first thing that has come into life is the hydrogen and helium gases. And you know that hydrogen is very important in creating the water, H2. So we have the lightest, when the first Big Bang took place, the universe began to expand, there were new powers, there were new beings, and the smallest atoms and subatoms of hydrogen and helium evolved. $400 million years later, okay, after the 13.7 billion years, then 400 million years after that Big Bang, the primal stars were born. So, you see, first we had the lightest gases, then the primal stars were born, concentrated by the gravitational force. Enormous stars gathered. They had a gravitational force, so they began to gather around. And therefore, gathering, after 1 billion years later, the galaxies were formed. We know the Milky Way, the galaxy, but they say that 2 crores of galaxies are there. That's what the scientists say. So we had the lightest gases, then we had the primal stars. They had the capacity to come together, and then the galaxies were formed. So we are the children of the stars. And some of the stars in their death became supernovas. The moment a star dies, then that becomes the supernova. Supernovas are the mothers of the universe. Why? You know what happens to the star? They will lose its nuclear fuel. When they lose the nuclear fuel in it, the stars will exhaust after some time the nuclear fuel and they collapse. When they collapse, they become the supernova. Now, they are not dead completely. After some time, they will again gather energy and they will give life to new stars. That's why it is called supernovas are the mothers of the universe. They create, they keep on creating. So, birth, death, and resurrection are an ancient theme of the universe. For us, it is something new theme. Only in the New Testament we see. But the birth, the death, and the resurrection are an ancient theme of the universe. They die in order to give life. So universe is very much part of us. And we have a lot to learn from that collective wisdom. And 4.6 billion years ago, now we are coming here, which we have studied in the school, the Big Bang. theory, 4.6 billion years ago, our grandmother star births, the solar system, the sun and the solar family emerged from the dispersed body of the grandmother star. So one of the supernovas gave birth to sun and the solar system. Here begins a story of what will become one blue and white pearl of a planet, that is the blue planet. So, and we have the stars, the sky. So this story we know. So this story to happen, there was another story 13.7 billion years ago. Now with this story of how the universe came into existence, we are going to see the powers in this universe. Universe is not something that is far away from us, the cosmos. It is part of us. It has got several powers, the powers of God. And that powers of God, the universe, is reflecting in us. And therefore, we are part of this universe. And we are part of the universe, we are part of the solar system. And we are definitely part of our little planet called Earth. So our relationship with the planet Earth and to the solar system and to the entire universe is our relationship with God. We cannot experience God without His creation. That is definite. Okay, how will we relate to this universe? That is a question. How will we relate to this beautiful universe? This leads us to mystery and contemplation. Sometime I think none of us have got time to look at the sky in the evening because we have evening prayers, then we go for recreation, we go for our night prayers, then we off to bed. We hardly see, many of us hardly see the sky to enjoy a part of the universe, a part of the cosmos. So if we really get immersed into it, many of the saints have experienced that, then that will lead us to that mystery and that will lead us to that contemplation. The first thing, the first quality or the first power of the universe is the seamlessness. Now, what is this seamlessness? It is a big thing. Seamlessness. It is in the universe. A ground of being. Seamlessness is being. Seamlessness is, it is emptiness, but it is full. And it is vacuum, but it generates being. The realm that gives birth to the universe. This is a power of the universe. It gives the seamlessness, gives birth to the universe. Seamlessness is nothing but pure power of generativity. That is the power of the universe. The universe is very, very resilient. The universe is calm but active. The universe is quiet, but there is something going within. The universe is silent, but it keeps on giving birth. Universe is always life-giving, life-generating. There is always an activity going on. But we see the vacuum, we experience that quietness, but it's not like sometimes we say the silence, the graveyard silence. No, it is something. The power of the universe is the seamlessness. It is very quiet, it's very resilient, very calm, very silent, but it is not dead. It is creating and generating and making it full. There is a being in it. This is the power of the universe. Seamlessness, that you get lost in the depth of things. And that is a mystery. Look at that vacuum. And get immersed in that vacuum, which is full. And that is a mystery. Dreams, immense possibilities of hope. This is a character of the universe. In its seamlessness, it dreams. It dreams immense possibilities. It dreams immense life-giving possibilities. And it gives hope. From seamlessness, the basic power is the seamlessness of the universe. And from that power emerged the other powers of the universe. From seamlessness emerged the powers of the universe. If you look at the Bible, we have, in the beginning, the earth was without any form. It was void. And that was happened 13.7 billion years ago. Nothing was there. But there was everything. Then the outburst came. In Indian context, again we say that sound was the Om, the first sound. That the first sound is the sound of God. That's why the Om has got greater meaning. So in the beginning, there was nothing. Earth was without anything. It was a vacuum. It had no form. It was void. The entire universe was that. A timeless eternity. He is not just the beginning, but the beginning of the beginning. The timeless eternity. And the universe is not just the beginning, what we saw, but the beginning of the beginnings. And if we can refer John chapter 1, the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And that is what that word, the first big bang, the first word, Om, that first burst, that was the word, that was a sound that created the entire universe. In the book of Rig Veda, in the beginning was the non-existent, from which the existent arose. In the beginning was the non-existent, from which the existent arose. Same, the story of the universe. God created everything from nothingness. Then there was neither the non-existent nor the existent. Rig Veda 10, 1 to 9. So he created everything from nothingness. Coming to, we have seen the first, the seamlessness, the greatest power. And from that power comes Centration. What is Centration? The universe gives birth to a new being, bringing them as the supernova that dies, and again it creates, keeps collecting its energy, the nuclear fuel, again giving birth to a new star. That is Centration. Giving birth to a new being. How many times we have this quality, because we are children of the stars. We are children of the universe. We are children of the earth planet. We are several relationships. And so, how many times we give birth to a new being? Each time when I recognize God's presence, in someone, or in a needy, or in maybe giving life to an animal, or anything, any life-giving action of ours is giving birth to a new life. That centration is in us. We have billions of years of energy coursing through us, energy from the birth of the universe. This is where we are connected. We have billions of years of energy coursing through us. The energy from the birth of the universe, it is in us. We speak sometimes of collective wisdom. We have that. We have that collective energy that we have received from the very time the universe was formed. And it is in and through us. That is centration. It is in our bloodstream, these powers of the universe, the seamlessness, the centration. All these are within us. And the third power of the universe is allurement. How the universe hold it together. No stars are falling down. The sun or the moon. It keeps alluring, attracting. Allurement is one of the great power of the universe. The gravitational pull, the molecules coming together, the electromagnetic attractions. And therefore, we have human communities. Remember, it is this allurement, this centration that is making us to come together. The coming together in human communities. It is the same character in us. Why the human beings want to live in communities? Why do we have that collective wisdom? It is from here. The galaxies, they came together. And the ideas coming together, ideals coming together, the visions of people, and just as the galaxies. So the allurement, this great power is in us. We are great children of God. We don't realize that, how much power of God is shared with us. And how much of this power we are using for giving new life. And that is what participation in the incarnation of Jesus. So incarnation is not something different. Paschal mystery is not something different. The universe is not something different. The earth, we are all interconnected. We have the character of everything. So we come together like the stars. We come together, put our ideas together, visions together, bringing new life, just as a universe. Another part of the universe is the emergence. It is an ongoing creative event. And this creativity is in human beings. Ongoing creative event. The universe coming forth. The primeval fireballs, atoms, galaxies and stars. They come together, emerge. End of the Cenozoic era. Thomas Berry called it as Cenozoic era, Mesozoic era, and the birth of Ecozoic era. Now, what is Cenozoic era? Cenozoic era came to an end 65 million years ago when the dinosaurs died. Dinosaurs died 65 million years ago, and most of you know that there was a meteor that fell and the earth the part of the earth became very hot. They couldn't adjust with that climate as we have today, the climate change, and therefore they died. So Cenozoic era came to an end with the death of the dinosaurs. Then Thomas Berry says the new life, that is Mesozoic, and right now we are in the Ecozoic era, where we are giving again new life, bringing back the earth to its origin. Next character of the universe is homeostasis. What is that? A universe holds what is valuable, Whatever is valuable, it will keep, the rest it will remove. So human bloodstream, example. It holds, it is that character of the universe. The human bloodstream, cells, molecules and atoms, protons and neutrons, it holds everything together. So all what is valuable, the universe holds for giving a new life. This all with a purpose, not for my selfish motive. All these characters God has shared with me, but is to give new life. Whatever is valuable to incarnate life, that is health. To give life, that is the resurrection. And the next character of the universe is cataclysm. Universe. So the homeostasis and cataclysm. Homeostasis holds everything what is valuable. Cataclysm, what is it doing? It will destroy what is not needed. Universe systematically destroys some of its achievements necessary for creativity. Even in an earthquake, when we look at an earthquake, there is a destruction, at the same time there is a construction. So whatever is not needed, it will always destroy. That is a character of the universe. And whatever is required to bring new life, it will always uphold. So cataclysm and homeostasis, these are the basic characters of the universe, which we too have got. We also, whatever is not needed, whatever is not relevant today, we remove. Whatever is relevant, what is life-giving, we hold, we uphold. So that is the same character that universe has, and so we. And the synergy. Ever more advanced forms of complexity depend upon cooperation, collaboration, and working together. We learned from the universe. Earth has learned from the universe. The human beings have learned from the universe. Cooperation, coming together, collaborating together, working together to give new life. And these are in the seamlessness, the basic power of the universe. The cooperation is there, collaboration is there, working together is there. And such a universe, such powers that are in the universe, we have to uphold. And we know we are part of the universe. And Earth is also a part of the universe. And we need to take care of that Earth and that universe, that cosmos. Another character of the universe is transmutation. The universe keeps transcending itself. It is a self-transcending reality. Moves from one era to another. Mutation of the old, process of the renewal of growth, destroys the old form to bring a new growth of new self. Molten earth cools and forms new. So transmutation is also part of the universe. And transformation, the power of the individual to change the situation. Qualitatively, more spectacular achievements by transforming the entire society. So the transformation is one of the basic characters of the universe, which we individuals have carried within us, and therefore we also transform our life, transform our families, transform our society, transform the world at large. Interrelatedness, a dimension that evolves itself into care. We are related, we are part of the other. Okay, the Holon theory, which says the entire thing, but we are part of that entire thing. So that is that interrelatedness. We are part of the whole. We are part of that whole. So we are all related. Radiance, the magnificence of the universe. Our role is to house the depths of magnificence, to taste the universe in the depths of its beauty. We are children of stars, and we are supposed to radiate that love of the universe, life of the universe, incarnation quality of the universe, Paschal mystery of the universe to others' life. We are supposed to radiate. The sun creates helium from the hydrogen, releases light. The light from the moon comes. The interaction of the moon with the sun, the massive movement of the earth by gravitation, the radiance of the stars at night. Every being contains 13.7 billion years of radiance. All of us have got the radiance that is old, 13.7 billion years radiance. All of us have got. So we are part of the universe. And we have these beautiful characters, the powers of the universe deep in us, in the every fiber of our being. The flashing of the lightning, an amazing event. We are frightened. But can we see the power of God in the lightning? The sacred event, and so the thunder. That's why we have the hymns, the voice of the Lord in the thunder. We are at home in magnificence. So the flashing of the lightning is an amazing event. It's a sacred event where God renews the earth with nitrogen. The sound of the thunder, the voice of God. Contemplation. Prayer resonates in the universe. Not just in small halls or rooms where we keep set apart. Yes, it is there, the presence. But as we walk, as we look at the cosmos, the universe, the prayer should resonate in us, within us, because it resonates in the universe. And the same thing resonates within us. A profound moment and adoration. A sense of the divine essence, everything is to be admired. Wonder at, smile, and experience the peace that flows through you and me. The universe is one wonder after another. Display of divine beauty. Let's begin to experience this divine beauty in the universe. Let's take time to relate with the universe, to relate with the cosmos, to relate with the planets, to relate with Mother Earth, to relate with every creature that is on earth. Experience the silence of God. Experience that seamlessness of God. Remember, we have the radiance of the sun. We are children of stars. We are children of the sun. We are children of the universe. And we have the radiance of the sun, the power in us. We have the fairness of the moon. We are part of it. We have the brightness of the stars in us. We have the glow of the fireflies. We have the strength of the mountains. The wisdom of our ancestors. We are connected. This conviction should be in us. We are connected to the cosmos. We are connected to the entire universe. We are connected to the Mother Earth. We are connected to everything and everyone. Once we have this consciousness, we will take care of not only the human beings, the entire creation. When we speak of global warming, it has no boundaries. Remember, when we support for emitting carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, CFCs, chlorofluorocarbon, We are all part of it. And we remember that it has no boundaries. The air has no boundaries. It goes beyond it and it spreads the entire universe. We are not only doing harm here, but we are doing the harm to the entire universe. So we are connected. This awareness should be deep within. I am connected to God. I am connected to my neighbors. I am connected to the entire cosmos. We carry these treasures within us. The primeval energy, the ancient love, the primordial power, what we call God within, God with us, the Emmanuel. We carry these treasures, the ancient love, the ancient energy, the ancient power, the first energy, the first love, which we call God within, God with us, the Emmanuel. Universe is the manifestation of God's power, creativity, and potency. We see this display. We see the hand of God. Universe is the expression of the height and depth, the length and width of God's immense love. Universe is the expression of the height and depth, the length and width of God's immense love. May Christ in Ephesians, we read that. May Christ dwell in your hearts through faith. May you be rooted in and founded on love. You may have the power to understand with all the holy ones what is the breadth, the length, the height, and the depth. Ephesians 3:17-18. Thank you.